Have you ever been in a relationship where you just don't know if it's right for you? You don't know if you should leave or stay, work on things or go, and you're kind of lost. And if that's you, this video is for you. Because I've made 5 reasons when to know you should leave a relationship. Now, one of the biggest things when you should know to leave a relationship is, do they bring out your highest self? Who were you before you met this person? Were you more confident? Were you more outgoing? Were you just more fun, just carefree? And now you just find yourself just like not being your true potential, just feeling down. Because I've been there. I've been in relationships where, you're single, you're confident, you feel good, you don't have any worries, and you meet someone and they're awesome. And then just slowly over time, things start to change. Especially when they kind of try to control you or things you like to do, they get mad at you because you're making too much time for yourself and not enough time for them. No, I'm not saying you should just be ignoring the person all the time and just focusing on yourself. I mean, it's good to focus on yourself. Always make time to focus on yourself, but obviously, when you're in a relationship, there needs to be a balance. But you just know when you're not your highest self. And the biggest thing, the scariest thing about when you're in a relationship like this is just jumping back into the unknown because it can be scary. It can be scary to not know what life's going to bring if you jump out of this relationship. Because at the same time, you're in the known and you almost want to think things can change, things get better. But if you brought up things to your partner, you brought up your needs, and nothing really ever seems to change, and you're just not feeling like your highest self, it's time to reconsider the relationship. Second thing, and this thing's huge because I've been there. When things are good with this person, you almost get worried because you don't know how long it's going to last. See, in a healthy relationship, things should just be smooth. Things should be good. You're going to have your ups and downs, but you're not going to have these dramatic changes. I remember I dated someone and things would be great and things would be so good, and all of a sudden things would just get bad, and it might be a few days of good followed by a few weeks of bad, and then it'd be a few days of good, sometimes a week of good even, which would be awesome if it lasted a week. And then all of a sudden it can be a week of bad, a month of bad. And when you get in this up and down roller coaster, you really have to be careful because your brain starts to get addicted to the good times. It's like a dopamine high because even though the good times are good, it seems like it's that much better because it's followed by these bad times. And it's a really hard thing to feel when things are going good, and all of a sudden it just pops in your mind like, how long is this going to last? And that's tough. And it doesn't matter what you do to try to keep those good times going good. It always reverts, and it's just up and down, hot and cold. Do not stay in a hot and cold relationship. There's one thing I want you guys to know from the experiences I've had. Hot and cold relationships will destroy you. It'll make you a shell of a person. It'll destroy your confidence. It'll destroy your charisma. It'll destroy who you are as a person. And the worst thing about it is it gets you addicted to the person because your brain's releasing so much dopamine when times are good. So if it's hot and cold, all of a sudden things are good and you're like, oh, this is awesome, awesome. It's just like pops in your head. How long is this going to last? That is a huge reason to get out of the relationship you're in. Third thing, you find yourself feeling worse about yourself when you're hanging out with this person. The same thing. I was in a relationship and I would try so hard to keep things good and keep things going smooth, and it would always be the littlest things that seemed like would set them off. I remember one day I was helping her clean her kitchen. I was like doing dishes, wiping down counters, sweeping the floor, and when I swept the floor, I missed a few crumbs, and all of a sudden she grabbed the broom and just started aggressively sweeping and going nuts, and like I was feeling so good about myself up to that point because I felt like I was doing so much, and I was helping her out so much, and I thought she would just be so appreciative. And it just turned into her getting upset and me feeling just worse about myself. And I remember there were so many days. There were so many days I would leave after hanging out with her, just doing everything I could to make her happy, thinking like, God, I guess I'll try again tomorrow. And That's a really hard feeling to have. And when you find yourself constantly feeling worse when you leave your partner or when you just hang out with your partner, that is a huge sign you need to get out. Because all these things I'm saying, the more you deal with them, the more your brain is going to react, get addicted to the dopamine highs, get addicted to the lows. Cortisol is going to increase, and it's going to affect you mentally. It's going to affect you emotionally. It's going to affect you physically, and you're not going to feel good. You're going to be tired all the time. You're going to be irritable. You need to get out at these signs. Because I was someone who would just stay. I would just stay and hope things would get better. I thought through communication. I thought through talking about it, all these things. If you're doing these things and it's still not improving, at some point, you just need to walk away. Number four, and this is another big one. You feel defeated. You feel like you have done everything you possibly could for this person. You have gone above and beyond. You went out of your way. You're always doing things for them. You're never really returning the favors, and you're just trying so hard. You're trying so hard to show this person that you've loved them so much, and nothing is reciprocated. And when you love someone, you shouldn't just be doing it for validation. You should be doing it because you truly love them. But if you're just doing all these things to show your partner how much they love you, and they just treat you like you're a bag of dirt, it's okay to leave. Trust me. You don't want to be there. There is someone out there that truly cares about you. There is someone out there who wants to attract you into their life. And don't forget that. Don't get tunnel vision on one person. And I get it, things maybe were really good at one point, but if things went bad for a while, and how long do you want to keep feeling like this? How long do you want to keep feeling self doubt, feeling defeated? If you're feeling these things, I know it's scary, but you gotta leave. You gotta get out. The pain you will feel after is far less than the pain from you staying in the relationship. Five. Five, another big one, and this is part of all these things combined. You are a shell of the person you used to be. You look back at who you were in the past, the confidence you had, the charisma that you had, the person you were. You felt like you could just take on the world, and now you just feel so small. You feel so little. You feel so defeated. And it's really tough when you get to that point. And it makes it that much harder to leave because you don't have the confidence you once have. And you think, oh, if I loved this person so much and I did so much for them, like, and it wasn't reciprocated, why would it be reciprocated with anyone else? And I get that can be scary, but every day when we drive on a highway, someone could always just swerve their car right into you. That's always a possibility. It doesn't happen. You don't stop driving because of it. So are you gonna stop looking for love just because it didn't work with one person? Just because one person couldn't appreciate what you brought to the table, what you gave them? You also have to look into yourself. Why do you want to stay with this person? Because there's a very good chance you have some sort of shame wound inside yourself, some sort of inner child wound, and it's probably a familiar pattern from childhood. And you just need to do some inner child work and really focus on your inner child, love your inner child, pretend you're hugging your inner child meditation. There's so many things you can do to heal this wound. But staying in this relationship, you know it's not good for you. Your intuition knows it's not good for you. That's why you get that gut sinking feeling all the time. That's why you're not hungry. That's why you're just stressed out and you just feel down. I remember I used to get like heart palpitations because like it didn't matter. All of a sudden, like something out of my control could happen, and all of a sudden she's upset. Something not even to do with me, and I'm the one getting blasted for it. And it was like I was so stressed out. I was so addicted to cortisol, and it's like nothing I did helped. And I want to say things will just you can just leave and you'll feel a sense of relief and you probably will. You probably will feel a sense of relief for a week, maybe 2 weeks, but you still got to go through the process. You still got to go through the grief, the anger, the healing. But I promise you, When you leave this relationship, you have just left an old version of you. And by saying no to what you don't want and stepping into this new version of you, the universe is going to see that. The universe is going to reward you because the universe wants to reward you. The universe always wants to give you what you truly want. But it wants to test you first. It wants to test you to see if you can say no to the things you don't want. Because if you keep saying yes to the things you don't want, the universe is going to be like, well, why would I give you what you want? You you clearly don't want it if you can't say no to this. Think about it. I get it. The unknown is scary, but the unknown is always better than being in a known that you know is not good for you. So just remember that. And I'm Brandon, and I take you from breakups to breakthroughs.